contrite and broken spirit. Let's tap into those emotions. Let's tap into that apologetic spirit. Let's tap into that broken and sense of hope feeling. Can I talk to the remnant? Can I talk to the people of the Almighty? We're going to deal with Isaiah chapter 57. I would greatly appreciate if you guys subscribe to this channel. You know, my other channel got so many strikes on it for telling the truth about what's going on with our people in Damona joining the Israeli army, and I've been bringing out more things about the Messiah here in captivity, and he shall rise, the importance of staying and not fleeing, showing obedience. So I have strikes on that channel. That's why I'm not posting on it right now. So I'm posting on this one. I will greatly appreciate if you subscribe. May it be a high as well. So Isaiah 57, let's tap in the broken and contrite spirit, which Ahia loves. But let's go verse by verse. The righteous perish, and no man lays it to heart, and merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. That right there is so heartbreaking, for me. The righteous perish, but nobody takes it to heart. Like, where's the compassion? The empathy. Where is it? It's things we need to change and consider, but none consider the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. That's mercy. All praise to Ahia. Verse 2. He enters into peace. They rest in their beds who walk in their uprightness. That's why I go by the name of Yeshurun. Yeshurun, King Dawi. Just want to be upright. Meek. Want to be set apart, obedient, speak upright. For it is the uprightness who enters into peace in their beds at night. No evil shall come to them. Unfortunately, right now, this is not very applicable because we are under the curses and a lot of our people are going through, the cruelty of it. So a lot of evil draws near. But for the most part, once we're back in harmony and back connected to the order of Ahia, restored in our land, then this will hit a little different. Verse 3. Draw near, you sons of the sorceress, the seed of the adulterer and the harlot. Wicked, can't stand these people, man. These warlocks and witches and these goddesses and gods, these Kemetic following doctrine people of my people, and just those who delight in the wickedness and evilness of this world. This world that we're living in right now it's nothing. It will not even hold a candle to what's to come. The kingdom of David, and Ahia is the king of all the earth. Protecting it and comforting his people. That world is something to be praised. This world is pure vanity and wickedness, most definitely in the image of Sodom and Gomorrah. You know. Verse 4. Again, whom do you make sport? Against whom do you open your mouth wide and draw out the tongue? Are you not children of transgression, a seed of falsehood? Of course, because we broke the covenant, of Ahia that he gave unto Abraham, Isaac or Isaac, and Jacob, you know. So we are children of transgression, adulterers, idolaters, you know, putting more faith and love and honor in an idol, in an image, you know, than the all-knowing, all-seeing, the Almighty Ahia. Verse 5. Burning with lust among the terebinths, under every green tree, slaying the children in the valleys under the clefts of the rocks. Among the smooth stones, the stream is your portion. They are your lot. To them have you poured a drink offering. You have offered a meal offering. Should I be appeased by these things? So we're giving these portions to idols, things that can't hear, taste, smell, things that can't speak and give prophecy, show comfort, you know, that can't shake the mountains or shake that soul that's within you. Bring forth the fear, that tingle down your spine that you know is the Almighty watching. And you fear that He knows exactly what you're thinking and what you're doing. We give offerings and make meals and bake cakes for these idols. The idol of heaven, right? Well, Atalia, right? Or whatever her name is. Who's the goddess of heaven, right? And the queen of heaven, right? And to Murdoch or Baal or Baal, and Jesus, Yahweh, Yeshua, Yasha, you know what I'm saying? What they say in Yahoshe, still an idol. You know what I'm saying? It's an image. Doesn't fit the covenant. That's why we're dealing with this Isaiah 57. We're going to talk about a lot of things in here, We give too much reverence to these idols. Verse 7. Upon a lofty and high mountain have you set your bed, and there went you up to offer sacrifices. The saying, you made your bed, now lay in it. So some of us set our comfort, this is what this bed is referring to, our comfort in the arms of idolatry, of self and images, idols and images. And, and up there in our comfort, whatever it may be, money, women, or homes, clothes, whatever your comfort may be, whatever these idols is providing for you, these social media platforms, these promises, you made your bed up there and gave a sacrifice unto it. Instead of giving your praise and glory to the Almighty, Ahia, Allah, not not Allah, but Allah. That's the Hebrew tongue for power. Just like, That's why we're Yashar Allah, Allah, meaning upright power, because Ahaya is our upright power. And when we are in tune and connected with Him, we are upright, and He's our power. Power to deliver us from any and all things. There's nothing too hard for Ahaya. It's nothing too strong. And there's nothing that He can't create, an entrance and diminish that distance, because His hand is not too short to stretch out and do His will. All praise to Ahaya. Verse 8. Behind the doors also and the posts have you set up your symbol, for you have revealed yourself to others than me. Once again, these idols, right? These idols and images, we have set up, and, you have revealed your inner pain and wants and desires, and you express yourself with passion and emotion to these idols and images, to these idols of this world, to the almighty dollar, to these facilities, to these camps, these congregations, these religions, yourself. You have revealed yourself to it, but not to our power. See, I'm talking to the remnant. I'm talking to the house of the southern kingdom, the house of the northern kingdom. I'm talking to the nation of Yasharala right now. Just because you don't consider yourself a Hebrew Yasharalite or Hebrew Israelite, that does not negate the fact that you are one. You're just not claiming your heritage. So you still go through the growing pains. You still go through the discipline. You still go through the curses. You still go through the penalties, the actions of being a Yasharalite or Israelite. But you have revealed yourself to all the things you deem worthy. These idols and images. These vanities. These things of our oppressor. The things you were taught. Because it's always been in your heart. It was even in the heart of our ancestors. Whenever we tried to do righteous things, and we had leaders in the past, and now try to do righteous things, we the people mock our very own, because we honor the ways of the heathen and not a man nor a woman of the order of Ahaya. So not only did you reveal yourself to these idols and images and not Ahaya, and like he says, and we in verse 8, and are going up, and you have enlarged your bed, your comfort to it. You have now given great comfort to these idols and images and your vanities and desires. And you made a covenant with them, with your desires and vanity, and in these idols and images. This is why our people suffer in these industries through blood sacrifices, because they made covenants with their oppressor and the almighty enemy of Ahaya and us. These Amalekite Edomites, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergers, the Shivs, them families, the so-called illuminated ones, Illuminati. They only illuminated to the book. into who we are, who they are, and to certain time frames that we are in. But right now, Ahaya has taken all the understanding out of these Amalekite Edomites. That's why things are backfiring. But I like to call it the Nino Brown effect. If you've never seen New Jack City, then you may not understand. If you watch the movie all the way to the end, the Nino Brown effect is what the Amalekite Edomites are um, exhibiting right now. Meaning, if they going down because they know they're in, their ladder in, if they going down, they taking everybody down with them. They making alliances with different nations, which they already have. You know, that started with Psalms 83 already. And it continued over to now. You know. But these, they made alliances and pledge allegiance to, these these different nations, and they are just taking any and everyone down with them. It doesn't matter. These Amalekite Edomites is even taking their very own down. See, Amalek only cares about Amalek. It's the most greedy and the most sinful bloodline of Esau. Amalek is the grandson of the original Esau. That bloodline has dominion power right now. That's in Numbers chapter 24, verse 20. It still continues. If you look in this book, which bloodline always comes after Yashar? Which one? The Amalek. Haman. Amalek. Agag. Amalek. when Masha, Moses or Moshe was leading the Yasharites, from Egypt, who came and trapped them and tried to cut them off? Amalek. Not all of Esau, but Amalek. Still to this day, like Ahia said, I will war with them from generation to generation, showing that his word still stands because they have dominion right now. They created Israel in 1948, made it a state. They created that Holocaust. They created a situation to try to make claims to being the chosen people. They have stolen our identity, but not our power or our God, because their power and God is themselves. Baal, Baal, Lucifer. Remember that the original Esau never wanted the obligations or the responsibility of keeping this way, this law. They never wanted to uphold that and carry it and be responsible in righteousness, as we see to this day. So our people that's in these industries, singing, rapping, playing basketball, football, tennis, soccer, street ball, whatever, right? On YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, wherever you can get a contract or have to go through them to make some serious so-called money, right? You got to deal with these Amalekite Edomites. But you got to make a covenant with them to get that money. So we see that in the word right here. So it says, still in verse 8, made a covenant with them. You love their lying. You love their lying with you, and you selected a place. That's wild. You love their lying with you. It's like, since they're speaking back and giving you what you want or You made that covenant, and now that they are, see, you're having a romance with them in a sense. That's why it's adultery, because you're fornicating with the oppressor and his tools, his utensils and devices. You know, you're lying in that bed with them, and it's you who selected the place because you want to get out of your discomfort, which is under the curses and poverty, struggling and waiting for a higher, to get into what they perceive as comfort, money, mansions, condos, cars, clothes, better neighborhoods, you know, going to Dubois, what's that, right? You know, traveling. So you know, lie with them and engage into that adultery, and you love it, and you selected the place, you know, for your comfort, you know, like your favorite position, you know, like your favorite position in a way. All right, verse 9. And you went to the king with ointment and increased your perfumes. Okay, and you went to the king with ointment and increased your perfumes, and did send your messengers far off, and sent down even to the grave. That's what Sheol means. So, you know, you went to the king, you know, with the ointments, pretty much your offerings, right? And increase your perfumes, you know, gave more, and you did send your messengers far off, and sent down to Sheol, you know, to the grave. Verse 10, you are weary with the length of your way, yet you did not say, there is no hope. You have found a renewal of your strength, therefore you were not sick. How you find a renewal within your strength, and why you're not sick now? Because you made comforts with the enemy, the oppressor, with idolatry, with idols and images, right? And then it says, and of whom, and of whom you have been afraid or feared, that you have lied and have not remembered me. See that? So we feared our oppressors, you know, like times before we feared the king, you know. Pardon me, let me take that back. We feared our oppressors, and like time before we feared the other nations' kings, you know, because we never feared the king of the who Ahai has chosen. You know, we always been disobedient, you know, to whoever Ahai chose, you know. So right here in verse 11, Ahai is saying, but who have you been afraid or feared, that you have lied and have not remembered me, nor laid it to your heart? Have I not held my peace, even of old, and you fear me not? Meaning Ahia has been very merciful and long suffering with you. He's been suffering a long time, but you still don't come to him. You go to these kings of these nations, to your oppressors, to these idols and images, to yourself, because you're a god or a goddess now. You know? Then verse 12, I will declare your righteousness and your works, for they shall not profit you. When you cry, let your collection of idols save you, but the wind shall carry them all the way, right? But the wind shall carry them all away. A breath shall take them. But he who puts his trust in Ahiah shall possess the land and shall inherit my holy mountain, right? So that's very key. You must have that trust with Ahiah. Everybody talking about, yeah, I want to make the kingdom. I want to make the kingdom. I'm trying to go to the kingdom. But you went to idolatry and idols and images. You ain't even consider that Ahiah is one. and his anointed one is before you in captivity. Every time I post about it and talk about it, I get strike, or they cut my message, or But we just wilding out, worrying about these idols and images, man. And we talking about we trying to get in the kingdom. We trying to do everything possible to get into the kingdom, which is AKA the promised land, AKA the holy mountain of Ahia. There's no entering into the holy mountain until you pass under that rod, Ezekiel chapter 20. Until Ahia delivers and restore all of Yasharallah from the four corners of the earth, who endure to the end, who waits upon him and does not flee, but stay. And then he brings us back and restores. And then we must go into that wilderness. Then we must pass under that rod of correction. Meaning that you have to go into this, you have to enter into this covenant. Because what you thought you knew and understand, you're going to be challenged on it right then and there. Now you're going to be challenged based upon your righteousness and your obedience to Ahia. That's how you want to enter into the kingdom of Dawadah, the holy mountain of Ahia. Possess the land, our inherited lots. Verse 14. And one shall say, build up, prepare the way. Take up the stumbling block from the way of my people. What is the stumbling block? The stumbling block is idols and images. The stumbling block is the New Testament. The stumbling block is any religion that has no validity with the higher. And all religions are bad. Scientology, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Comedicism, all the isms, all these doctrines, self-proclaimed man-made doctrines, all these spin-offs, all these factions, all this self-worship, all of that is a stumbling block before you. So that must go. If you plan on entering into the holy kingdom of the highest. Verse 15. For thus says the high and lofty one, who inhabits eternity, whose name is holy. I dwell on the high and holy place, yet with him also who is of what? A contrite and humble spirit, to revive the heart of the contrite ones. For I will not contend forever. But I want to go back to that. For thus says the high and lofty ones, for thus says the high and lofty one, who inhabits eternity, whose name is holy. I dwell on the high and holy place, yet with him also who is of a contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble and revive the heart of the contrite ones. So Ahia is going to revive the heart of that passage, which is in Ezekiel, right? The valley of the dry bones. See, that's who's being revived. And just in case you don't know who of the valley of the dry bones are being revived, is it the proud, the pride, or the proud or the prideful ones, or the contrite and the humble ones? Now you know Ahia is reviving the humble and those who is of a contrite spirit, apologetic, meek. So the majority of Yasharallah is into idols and images and very proud and prideful and arrogant. I'm not going to say you count it out. Because who am I to tell you that you counted out? I'm not a higher. I'm not making that judge at that moment. But you do the math. If you don't change and bethink yourself, if you're not humble and contrite, that revival is not meant for you. It's not talking about you. You're not of the valley of the dry bones. Because that army is going to be an army of meek, humble, contrite. It's going to be of those who were weak, lame, disfigured, hopeless, doubtful. Ahia turned them into a strong nation. That's Micah chapter 4. All of this is connected. All of it is all of it is correlated. Just got to put it together. Know how to correlate context. So when you hear Ahia restoring and delivering and doing things for his people, just know he ain't talking about all his people. He has a description of his people. Who he's talking about. The meek, the humble, the contrite, which means apologetic. You apologize for your wrongs, your iniquity, your pride, your arrogance, your sins. And you humble yourself. You become lowly. You become lowly. Not self-entitled. Not self-proclaiming. You hear me? Verse 16. This is real key right here. This is real key to understand and to know the importance of turning from idolatry and the importance of going through struggle, pain, affliction, and understand that Ahia will not keep you there long. You know the saying, everybody brings this up. God won't give you more than you can handle. But this is where it's coming from. And this is what this means right here. Verse 16. For I will not contend forever, right? Fight against you forever. Nor will I always be angry, wroth with you. For the spirit, for our spirit, and the souls who Ahia has made, whom I have made, should faint, die, decease, disintegrate, fall, fold, before Ahia. So if Ahia is mad at you forever, at us forever, and be angry forever, this is why you don't turn from him. You let Ahia go through his pain and suffering, even if it's long suffering. Because technically, we sin against him more than he has punished us. You understand that? We have caused more hurt and pain to him more than he has caused unto us. You understand that? So, understand when Ahia says that I will not contend forever, fight against you forever, and I won't always be angry, wroth, for your spirit, the soul that he has made within you. He knows the more pressure that he put the more punishment that he put towards his people, we'd tap out, we'd give up, we'd commit suicide, we'd turn from him, we'd leave. We'd say, is it even worth it? You know what I'm saying? And he knows that. So that's why he says, you know, the and the souls whom I have made should faint before me. Die. Leave me. Because we can't take the hand of Ahia upon us. It's a strong arm, remember? That's why you go through your affliction, your pain, your struggle. That's why you go through it. You embrace it. Because it's caused because of our doing and Ahia's long suffering. And he wants you to be refined into meek, humble, contrite people. So your soul will not faint before him, die before him. Verse 17. For the iniquity of his covetousness was I angry. So for the sin, he's being specific. For the sin of our covetousness with death. Idols and images. Vanity and desire, comforts of our own heart. Being an adulterer with idols and images. A worshiper of other idol images of the nation. A worshiper of things that are meaningless. We made a covenant with that. You know, we took that upon. We made it ours. We stole it. We stole the other nation's idols. Their idol minds, idle hearts, idle thoughts, idle speaking, idle worship. We coveted that. And that's in our law. Thou shalt not covet your neighbor's possessions, right? So an idol and an image is a possession to be coveted, because you can literally take someone's idol and make it yours. So Ahia was angry with his people for this. So he struck him and he hid. And Ahia says, I hid myself and I was angry. And we went on perversely in the way of his heart. Like we went on doing things of the desires of our own heart, which is ourselves and idols and images, comforts that bring joy to us that's not of Ahia. Then verse 18, I have seen his ways and will heal him. So this is the mercy of Ahia. This is the covenant that he's now putting before us in Jeremiah chapter 31, verses 31 through 34. So when Ahia says, I have seen his ways and I will heal him. How? By restoring and inputting that law within our heart. By restoring us and bringing us back to our land. By getting that third and final temple built so those healing waters can flow from it and heal our disintegrating, unhealthy, bacterified, that's not a word, bodies that's been made unclean from the nations that we were, upon. So Ahia said he's seen it and he will heal He's seen our ways, and he will heal us. And the highest said, I will lead him also and bestow his comforts on him. The comforts that he promised us, which is the covenant that he made with Abraham, Isaac, Isaac, and Jacob. That's our comfort. The covenants that he made with Davidah, the covenants that he made with Zadok, the high priest, the covenants that he made with, the house of Yasharallah. These covenants is our comfort because these covenants that he made with us is how we deal upright, righteous before him, before ourselves. And that law that needs to be, restored back into our inward part, our heart. We need to circumcise our heart to be clean again. That's how, he will lead us and bestow our comforts upon us. And on and on our, mourners, those who cry for us, So then verse 19, I will create a new expression of the lips, peace, peace, for him who is far off and for him who is near, says Ahiah, I will heal him. But the wicked are like the troubled sea when it cannot rest, whose waters cast up Mary and mire, or Mary and dirt. There will be no peace, says my power, for the wicked. So we just want Ahiah to restore the covenants, and we get back under the covenant, and we return back and take away our reproach and give us back our glory, which is him, in our land. And these covenants set in stone with us. Pardon all these pop-ups that's just popping up during this video. I may or may not. I'm going to keep on what I got. I'm going to keep it. It didn't really interrupt. But let Ahiah create this new expression. Speak differently. And bring peace to us. And bring us near and heal us. And let those who want to indulge in wickedness face the latter end of having no peace. But to you who is listening, peace be unto you. And may the riches of Ahiah be unto you. His riches is his laws, statutes, ordinances, judgments, compassion, empathy, love, obedience, all of that good stuff. Alright, y'all. I appreciate if you subscribe to my, this channel right here, because like I said, they pretty much trying to ban me and hit me with many strikes, but I will appreciate if you, subscribe to this channel just so I can continue to deliver the message. I appreciate that. May it be high as well. If not, then let me stay at 8. I'll be alright with 8. I could talk to y'all 8, and whoever listens and see this, it's cool. But love y'all. Love.